The Forbidden Rescue. The cold metal of the execution chamber hummed as Arya Dale stepped silently into the alien prison moon's shadowed corridors. Her heart pounded like a drum, every step echoing in the vast emptiness. She had spent weeks planning this, memorizing patrol routes, hacking doors, and stealing access codes. But nothing had prepared her for the sight of her little sister, Lena, strapped to the glowing energy platform, eyes wide with fear. The executioner aliens towered over her sister, their armor reflecting the harsh red lights of the chamber. Lena's small body trembled, and her soft voice whispered, "Arya, is it really you?" "Yes, Lena, I'm here, I'll not let them take you," Arya said, her voice shaking but determined. Her hands flew over the control panel, fingers dancing over stolen access keys, bypassing the high-security locks that even the elite guards could not touch. Alarms blared suddenly, echoing down the corridors as a red warning light flashed. Security breach. Human override detected, a robotic voice shrieked. Arya's pulse raced, but she refused to look away from her sister. She pulled Lena off the platform just as the energy blade ignited, a hot blue light slicing the air where her sister had been. The guards shouted, their heavy boots pounding toward them. Arya grabbed Lena's hand, and they ran through narrow corridors, sliding past doors and corners. Every turn brought new danger, lasers crossing in their path, doors locking and unlocking as Arya's codes raced against the system. The sisters' breaths came in short gasps, their eyes wide with fear and hope. But then, from the shadows, a figure moved with silence that made Arya's skin crawl. A tall alien assassin, cloaked in black armor that seemed to absorb the red light, watched them from the end of the hallway. His movements were precise, almost graceful, and his glowing eyes tracked every step they took. Arya didn't notice him at first, too focused on getting Lena to safety. But the assassin raised a strange notebook, glowing with alien symbols, and whispered. "Target identified, execution postponed, till nightfall." Arya shivered but pushed on, dragging Lena down a side passage that led to the docking bay. The moon's surface stretched below them, a barren wasteland of rock and shadows. Arya had prepared a stolen shuttle, its hull scratched and old, but faster than any patrol craft. They reached it just as guards cornered them, blasters ready. Arya fired up the engines, and the shuttle lifted off with a roar, narrowly avoiding a volley of energy blasts. Outside, the moon's horizon glowed with the red light of the prison city, alarms screaming into the night. Lena clutched her sister's arm, tears streaking her face. "Arya, what was that?" she asked, voice trembling. "I don't know, Lena, but someone powerful just marked us," Arya replied. She stared at the stars ahead, knowing that their escape had only begun. Somewhere out there, the assassin waited, patient and deadly, and the night held secrets that even Arya could not yet imagine. As the shuttle disappeared into the darkness, a shadow moved along the moon's surface, watching. The alien assassin's eyes glowed brighter, and his hand traced the glowing symbols in his notebook. "Your actions are not forgotten, human, and the debt will be collected," he whispered. The sisters had survived the execution, but the true danger had only just arrived. The assassin's visit. The shuttle touched down on a deserted desert planet, its engines hissing as Arya shut them off. Sand stretched for miles, glowing faintly under the twin moons. Arya helped Lena out, holding her sister close, afraid the Empire might have followed them through space. They stepped into an old human outpost, walls cracked and rusted, but still sturdy enough to hide. "Do you think they will come after us?" Lena whispered, hugging herself. Arya shook her head, but her eyes scanned every shadow, every corner of the empty building. "I don't know, Lena, we have to be ready for anything," she said, her voice low and tense. They lit a small fire for warmth, but neither of them could relax, every noise outside making their hearts jump. Night fell slowly, and the temperature dropped. The wind howled across the dunes, carrying whispers that sounded almost like voices. Arya checked her weapons and the stolen maps again, her mind racing with plans for the next step. But then, the silence changed, and something moved outside, fast and silent. A shadow passed the broken windows, too large to be any normal creature on the planet. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and a tall, armored figure stepped inside. His movements were smooth, almost floating, and his eyes glowed under his mask. Arya instinctively raised her blaster, pointing it straight at him. The figure did not attack, he simply stood, studying her. "You are not what the Empire told us, and that scares me," he said in a voice that was low, cold, and strangely calm. Lena gasped, hiding behind Arya, but the assassin made no move toward her. Arya's mind raced, trying to decide if she should fight or run. "You came to kill us," she said, voice trembling. "Why are you here?" The alien tilted his head, as if curious. "I came to kill, yes, but not yet. You did something impossible, human. You overrode codes only the high-rank aliens can touch. There is something unusual about you, something I have never seen before." Arya's heart pounded, she gripped Lena's hand tightly. "I don't care what you want, leave us alone," she said, but the assassin only smiled behind his mask. "I am Ravik," he said, his voice echoing in the small room, "and I will watch you. You have awakened interest, and interest is dangerous." The tension grew, every second stretching like hours. Outside, the wind whipped sand against the walls, making shadows dance across the floor. Lena whispered, "Arya, what does he mean?" Arya shook her head, "I don't know, but we can't trust him." Ravik stepped closer, his armor making a soft hiss as he moved. Yet he did not raise his weapon, and for a moment, Arya saw a flicker of something almost human behind his glowing eyes. Then he turned, moving toward the exit, stopping at the door. "I will return," he said, voice low and warning, "the Empire will not wait. And neither will I." The door slid shut behind him, leaving the sisters alone in the flickering firelight. Arya sank to the floor, holding Lena tightly, heart racing. Somewhere out there, Ravik was watching, waiting, and the night had become more dangerous than the prison ever was. The wind howled again, and Arya realized that escaping the execution had only been the first battle. The real war was just beginning, and they had no idea what waited for them in the dark. But she swore, quietly, fiercely, that she would protect her sister, no matter what. The lost truth. The next morning, the desert sun burned harshly across the abandoned outpost. Arya and Lena sat in silence, trying to plan their next move. The events of the previous night kept replaying in Arya's mind, the shadow of Ravik's glowing eyes haunting her. She knew the Empire would not forgive her for saving Lena, and they would hunt them relentlessly. Suddenly, a soft hum filled the room, and the air seemed to shift. Ravik stepped through the doorway as silently as the wind, his armor black against the sun. Arya jumped to her feet, blaster ready, but he raised a hand, signaling peace. "You need to listen," he said, voice low and urgent, "there is more to your sister than you know." Arya lowered her weapon slightly, suspicion still burning in her eyes. Ravik moved closer, the desert heat making the metal of his armor shimmer. "Lena's arrest, it was not for a crime," he began. "She triggered an ancient artifact, one that only reacts to a rare human gene." Arya frowned, confusion mixing with fear. "What do you mean? What artifact?" Ravik's glowing eyes seemed to pierce her thoughts. "Long before your time, humans led the galaxy. You controlled machines the Empire can barely understand. The artifact Lena activated is part of that old system. It is feared by the Empire because it can awaken the machines hidden in forgotten worlds." Lena looked up, trembling. "Machines? Like old weapons?" "Worse," Ravik said, "machines that can rebuild or destroy entire planets. The Empire wants to control them, and they will kill anyone who can activate them. That includes you both, because the gene flows in your blood." Arya's hands shook as she processed the truth. She had always thought they were ordinary humans hiding from the galaxy. Now she realized they were more than that, heirs to something ancient and dangerous. The weight of it pressed down on her, but she forced herself to think clearly. "We have to leave," she said, "before they find us again." Ravik nodded, Yes, but there is more. I can help you reach the ancient core world where the artifact came from. There you can control its power before the Empire captures you. But you must trust me, for without my guidance, you will die. Arya glanced at Lena, whose small hand was trembling in hers. Could she trust the alien who had come to execute them, yet now offered help? Her instincts screamed danger, but her heart knew they had no other choice. Finally, she said, "We will go with you, but one wrong move, and we fight to the end." Ravok's glowing eyes flickered as if approving her courage. He motioned for them to follow, and together they left the outpost, stepping onto the desert sands. The twin moons rose above, casting silver light on their path. Every step forward was heavy with danger, and Arya could feel the Empire watching, waiting for the moment to strike. As they traveled, Ravok explained more about the lost human empire, about machines that could awaken civilizations. Arya listened, fear and awe mixing inside her. She realized the simple act of saving her sister had changed everything. They were no longer just two humans running from death. They were now the key to a power the galaxy had not seen for centuries. And in the back of her mind, she knew the Empire's forces were closing in. Somewhere out there, soldiers hunted them, waiting for the moment to strike. Arya tightened her grip on Lena's hand. No matter the danger, she promised herself she would protect her sister. Even if it meant facing the deadliest alien assassin again. The Empire strikes first. Arya, Lena, and Ravok moved quickly across the desert, shadows of the twin moons stretching long behind them. The wind carried whispers of danger as they approached the ancient core world, a planet hidden in the galaxy for centuries. The air vibrated with power, and Lena could feel the artifact inside her stirring. Arya kept glancing around, every sense alert for the Empire, knowing they could strike at any moment. They landed near the ruins of an old city, machines half buried in sand, blinking faintly with energy. Ravok led them through narrow streets and broken towers, teaching them how to avoid patrols and sentries. The sisters marveled at the ancient machines, their eyes wide as symbols glowed on walls and floors. "This place is alive," Lena whispered, awe and fear mixing in her voice. Suddenly, the sky darkened as the Empire fleet arrived, ships descending like vultures. Arya felt her heart tighten, adrenaline rushing. Blasters fired from above, striking the ruins, sending sparks and smoke into the night. Ravok grabbed their hands and pulled them into a hidden chamber beneath the city. "You must activate the artifact now," he said urgently, "before they capture you." Lena stepped forward, trembling, placing her hands on the glowing artifact. Energy surged around her, machines awakening with lights and movements that shook the ground. The Empire soldiers stormed the ruins, fighting their way past awakened robots. Ravok moved with deadly precision, fighting off his own kind to protect the sisters. Arya watched in awe as the assassin she had feared became their shield, moving faster and stronger than any human could. The battle raged across the ancient city, blaster fire mixing with the hum of awakened machines. Arya fired her own weapons, helping Lena reach the heart of the artifact. The Empire's commander shouted orders, anger and fear mixing in his voice. They had underestimated the human sisters and the power they carried. Lena's hands glowed brighter as the artifact responded to her gene. Arya felt a wave of energy sweep across the ruins, lifting debris and sending soldiers flying. Machines stirred, their ancient eyes opening, scanning for commands. Ravok fought his enemies with skill and fury, but he always returned to protect Arya and Lena. The sisters realized the Empire was not just after them, they wanted to destroy everything the artifact could awaken. Suddenly, Lena collapsed, drained from the energy flowing through her. Arya caught her, fear slicing through her chest. A deep voice echoed from the heart of the machines, shaking the ground beneath them. "The heir has awakened, bring her to the heart," it said. Ravok looked at Arya, his eyes glowing with urgency. "This is it, the moment you cannot fail." Arya nodded, determination blazing in her eyes. She lifted Lena and ran through corridors of ancient power, dodging Empire soldiers and machine defenses alike. The artifact's glow lit their path, guiding them to the heart chamber. Outside, the battle continued, blaster fire and explosions echoing across the ancient city. But inside, Arya knew this was their moment to change everything. The sisters had survived the execution, the Empire's pursuit, and the shadow of the assassin. Now, in the heart of the ancient world, they faced their greatest test. The choice they would make in the coming moments could awaken the galaxy, or destroy it. Arya carried Lena through the glowing corridors of the heart chamber, her steps echoing on the smooth alien floors. The artifact pulsed around Lena, bright and alive, as if recognizing its heir. Arya's chest ached seeing her sister so weak, but she knew they had no time to lose. The Empire fleet was closing in, ships hovering over the ancient city, their weapons ready to fire. A deep, resonating voice filled the chamber, vibrating in their bones. "You are the descendants of humans, the leaders of the old galaxy," it said. Arya froze, disbelief and awe mingling in her mind. "The Empire has hunted your line for centuries, fearing your connection to the old machines. Now, the galaxy can be restored, but the price may be high." Lena looked up, her small face pale but determined. "Arya. I can do it, I can control it, but I might not survive," she whispered. Arya shook her head, tears forming. "No, Lena. I won't let you die. We will find another way," she said, her voice fierce and unwavering. Ravik stepped beside them, armor scarred, eyes glowing. "Together, you can share the burden. The artifact's power can connect both of you, but it will be dangerous." Arya hesitated, fear gripping her heart, but she saw determination in Lena's eyes. Taking a deep breath, she reached out, placing her hands over Lena's. Energy surged between them, flowing through their bodies, connecting mind and spirit. The heart chamber shuddered as the artifact accepted their combined will. Machines across the planet roared to life, rising from the sand and ruins, glowing with energy. The Empire's fleet fired, but EMP waves blasted outward from the ancient machines. Ships exploded, soldiers thrown off balance, the power of humans rising once more. Arya and Lena, connected through the artifact, moved as one, their minds and courage intertwined. Ravik fought beside them, defending the chamber, his skill unmatched. The Empire had underestimated the strength of humans, the resilience that refused to bow. The machines lifted the sisters, placing them at the center of the heart chamber. Arya felt the truth of her ancestors flowing through her, the leadership of a galaxy lost. The artifact glowed brighter, illuminating the dark skies outside. The Empire's fleet scattered, defeated, and the ancient machines declared the humans as the rightful guardians. Lena smiled weakly, the connection to Arya giving her strength she did not know she had. "You are the new guardians," the voice said, "protectors of life and freedom in the galaxy." Arya nodded, determination blazing, knowing that humanity had risen again. Even with the Empire's remnants surviving somewhere in the stars, the galaxy had hope. Ravik bowed slightly, respect in his glowing eyes. "You are stronger than I imagined, human." Arya looked at Lena, her sister safe, and the heart chamber pulsing with life. The night sky above the ancient core world sparkled with stars, alive with energy. For the first time in centuries, humans were no longer hunted, no longer weak. They were the champions, the protectors of the galaxy. And Arya knew, deep in her heart, that whatever came next, humanity would face it together. Stronger, braver, and free. The adventure had begun with an execution. But it ended with the rise of humanity. And the galaxy would never forget the courage of two sisters.